You've probably seen it all over social media. Pilates here, Pilates there, Pilates princess, clean beauty with Pilates, I love Pilates, Pilates changed my body, Pilates changed my life. But what exactly is Pilates? Well, let's look at it right now. For those that never heard of Pilates, it may be a little confusing seeing some strange poses on social media and all these beautiful women just raving about it. And that makes you think that maybe this is just a movement for women. Maybe this is just some feminine exercise that only skinny women do. Maybe this is just an exercise that never makes you sweat or work hard. And you, my friend, cannot be further from the truth. My name is Veronica, and I'll be guiding you through the whole world of Pilates and wellness, fitness-related topics on this channel. So if you feel like sticking around, hit the subscribe button and make sure you watch till the end for some personal inputs on this topic. We've all noticed in recent years that there is always something trendy on social media. Sometimes it trends for months, sometimes for years, sometimes it just becomes very popular and then skyrockets down very quickly. And Pilates seems to be riding just that wave of popularity and people looking more into it as we progressing as a society to really be more aware of our health, body and fitness. Many people are more and more into the health related topics. They're more watching what they eat. They're more inclined to exercise, and whether it's a sport activity or sweating at the gym, people are trying to find whatever moves their body because we all know it's part of our health, and if we want to live here longer, we gotta take care of this. Because we only have one body, so might as well take care of it. And Pilates is one of those disciplines that can help you achieve that. Pilates is a mindful movement system designed to strengthen your body, connect you to your mind, engage your core, strengthen your body, develop awareness with your body, improve posture, flexibility, and overall to change your life. Pilates is built on 6 fundamental principles. And before we dive into it, you should know that it's been around for quite a long time, but not long enough in comparison to, for example, yoga. Pilates was founded by Joseph Pilates back in early 20th century. It was officially brought to New York City back in 1926. That's when it used to be called contrology, which is already very self-explanatory. Self-explanatory? Self-explanatory. That word just gives me a hard time. Anyways, it's all about controlled movement, controlled breathing, controlled flow, controlled concentration, controlled precision, controlled concentration, controlled mindfulness, controlled flow, and of course breath work if I haven't mentioned it. The 6 fundamental principles of Pilates are, as surprisingly I already mentioned, breath, concentration, fluidity, meaning flow, control, precision, and center, which just underlines the importance of bringing everything back to the core, where this movement all stems from. You've seen those movements all over social media. Once you type in Pilates, you see these machines, apparatuses, mat work, even weights, and all kinds of stuff that you maybe never even heard of. Most exercises look very graceful, very flowy and controlled. Some people may even compare Pilates to yoga, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it is a very different activity, both from the fundamentals and the history of it. Nowadays, even yoga in the Western culture sort of lost its originality. It was based in spiritual and meditative movement. And these days it's quite challenging and people do all sorts of things. No matter how all practices evolved, from even a fitness world these days, everything changes over time. Every teacher, instructor gives their wellness activity a different twist. And the same applies to Pilates. You meet teachers that only work on a mat with the minimal equipment, making sure that you only use your body weight. And that was the original method of Pilates. Everything was done on a mat. The first fundamental 34 exercises were all done on a mat with nothing to worry about. You didn't need any extra weight, you didn't need any extra shebang. You just needed a comfy mat that your body feels good on, some space where you can move around, and you can basically do this anytime, anywhere, as long as you're comfortable and have the room to move. You may have noticed a lot of the movements in Pilates are sort of like gymnastics. That is because Pilates was heavily influenced by gymnastics and rehabilitation methods back in the 20th century, and even by ballet and boxing. The core of Pilates remained the same, even though all these new influences and new apparatuses have been growing. We always go back to the center, as I mentioned earlier in this video. It always comes back to strengthen the core, improving your posture, improving your flexibility and mobility overall. Pilates is great for any age group, any background, any gender, just anybody who's willing to learn, has a good attitude, and wants to do and be better in their own body. Just like with an exercise, there's tons of modifications. So if somebody, for example, suffers from osteoporosis, or is pregnant, or has some other issues that may need some rehabilitation, Pilates is still just for you, because all movements can be modified to your level of expertise. All movements can be done in your own comfort level. You don't have to be a gymnast to do any of these movements. You don't even have to do them all perfectly, because we all have to start somewhere. If you don't touch your legs behind your head today, maybe it's gonna happen next month or in a few months, but don't give up. Every graceful movement done with precision and patience can be perfected over time. I am happy to see many more men joining this fitness trend of Pilates. As I mentioned earlier in the video, it may look on social media that only women do this kind of workout, but I see more and more men at the gym joining Pilates classes, and they get hooked. They fall in love with it, they feel better, their muscles move better, their mobility improves. So like I said, this activity is for everybody. In my own upcoming videos, I'll be guiding you through several different methods and exercises, and you'll never get bored, because there's no such thing as knowing it all or showing it all. Because Pilates is one of those activities where the variations of one simple exercise can be endless. We will get creative, we will get sweaty, we will get strong, and we will get more mindful as time goes. Hopefully you will be able to join me through this journey and learn something new in every video. Before I forget, join me on Instagram if you're active on there, so you can get daily inspiration for simple movements that can improve your life and overall mobility. If Pilates sounds like something that you may want to try, make sure that you watch my next video, because I'll be guiding you through all kinds of exercises to start with. We can start with a mat, with no equipment. We will add some equipment as we go. We'll make it spicy, we'll make it creative, we'll make you strong, and I'll personally help you to become stronger inside and out. Because the fundamental exercises of Pilates do not require you to have anything but the mat that you can lay on and exercise on, you really do not need much. Whether you want to practice Pilates while you're watching TV, whether you just want to do it when you're in a hotel room waiting for your next meeting, you can always squeeze at least 5 to 10 minutes of these simple movements. To retain your mobility, you do not require long sessions of this exercise. Of course, it would be great if you can dedicate at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour a day for this. But we all have busy schedules and it's hard to find time. But we all have the same amount of time in a day. So it's not about not having time. It's about your priorities. And if your priorities are healthy body and mind and getting stronger inside out, you will find those 10 minutes a day to practice and perfect these movements. I have no doubt that you can do it. I have no doubt that you can find space where you live, where you can just stretch and make these exercises part of your daily routine. And I have no doubt that you will fall in love with this and truly start including it in your daily routine. My personal preference for practicing Pilates is being barefoot or having these little socks that I can use on the reformer and all these apparatuses that we're gonna learn about in my next videos. There is tons of new equipment being developed over the past several years as the popularity of Pilates grows. I'll be showing you movements on reformer, chair, barrels, arcs. I'll work with you with equipment like fitness ball or bozu ball or little squeezy ball or rehabilitation ball or the magic circle, yoga blocks. And we can always add ankle weights, sliders, or regular dumbbells. As you can tell, the variations are limitless. It really just depends on your instructor how they want to perform those exercises, and what sort of goal they want to achieve by the end of the session. My goal personally is to teach you the best versions possible. I want to show you variations that are acceptable for any level, with the overall goal to make you fall in love with these movements. Because the more you fall in love with these movements, the more you're going to be inclined to include them in your daily life, and the more you're going to be inclined to perfecting them. Every session of Pilates can feel different even with the same instructor. One day they can focus on your mobility, one day they can focus on really making your muscles work hard. Other days it can be all about your spinal health. Some other days it can be all about making your quads really work. So you pick. In my next videos I'll show you all kinds of variations, all sorts of topics. In all my upcoming content I'll make sure that I'm satisfying all those goals and more, because I personally get bored. If it's all the same and all super slow, you would not keep me in the class. So I want to make sure that it's fun for everybody, including me, and that we all have a good time. With that said, I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you in my next video. Make sure you subscribe and also follow me on Instagram if you haven't. I just started a new account where I can help you get inspired with daily new moves that you can be trying at home on your own. So next time if somebody asks you what Pilates really is, make sure that you know that it's just not yoga. It's a controlled movement where equipment can be added, hyperflexibility is not required, and the overall goal is a mind-body connection. What I personally require in my classes and my future videos is for you to have a good time, be in a good mood, and be willing to learn and try. Because trying, even if failing, still counts. See you on Instagram and in my next video. Ciao! And since you stayed here till the end, I want to show you a little surprise. I had a little helper here this whole time. Let me show you. Oh my god, somebody has such a long day. What a hard work. Oh my god. Kdo to tady je a mám mě pomáhal? Je takový malý miminko. Oh my god. So this is our little helper here. He was here the whole time when mama was sitting on this. Timmy, co to bylo? Byli jsme tady moc dlouho, jo, měli jsme srandu, jo. So you'll see him in my next videos as well. Okay, maybe not in all of them, but you know, if I can bring him, I will. So here's what I was talking about. My personal take on Pilates is that really anybody can do it. I've seen so many people of all sizes, all genders, all shapes, colors, whatever backgrounds. Anybody that tries it at least once, they find something they like about it. Whether it's strengthened their core, whether it was fun, whether the jumping on a board on a reformer was exciting and cool. There's just something for everybody. Whether you're just doing mat Pilates or working on a reformer or chairs, it's just a fun activity. And if you haven't tried it, don't judge it. So for my next videos, I'll make sure there is less talking. I just wanted to introduce myself and make sure that we are kind of on the same page, because we all here to have a good time, learn something new, and make our body and mind better every day. I'll see you in my next video. Ciao!